Welcome back, everyone, to the 2019 Southland Bowling League Championship. I'm Mike Flanagan from InsideBowling.com, bringing you the coverage today here from Dallas, Texas. We're at USA Bowl, and today's squad was supposed to start at 1:30 Central Time, but has been pushed back due to a lane malfunction while oiling. Which was one of the most bizarre things that we've ever seen. It was where a deck light got broken and something happened with the rake. It was interesting with the lane machine. So a little bit of a delay. We got started a little bit late. So we want to apologize to those of you that were waiting in the live stream area. So that's the story with starting late today. But the real story is these 8 college teams. And I'd like to go through them now and get everyone up to speed on what happened this morning so that you know what's at stake here in front of us on our live stream today. We also have an interactive chat here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to the YouTube channel, please do so. We appreciate that very much. Up over close to 13,000 subscribers now. So on the left side of your screen, you see lanes 23 and lanes 24, where you see Louisiana Tech, the Lady Techsters. They were ranked 7th in our bracket. In the first round, they lost to Sam Houston State 2-0 in this format. So this is the losers bracket number 1. And they are taking on Youngstown State, the Penguins, coached by Doug Kaburski, and Louisiana Tech, coached by Matt Nantes. So Youngstown State and Louisiana Tech on the left side of your screen. They're bowling a full, complete, regular team game like you would see in a league. And whoever wins this will establish 1 point. And then they will bowl 5 games of Baker. Total pinfall will establish the 2nd point. If they are tied after those 2 games, they will then bowl a best 4 out of 7 Baker head-to-head matches against each other. So that's the left side of your screen. The right side of your screen, you have the number 5 ranked team in our 8-team bracket, the Tulane Green Wave. Tulane is coached by Haley Veach and assistant coach Jessica Swick. And earlier today, they took on Stephen F. Austin, and it took the best out of 7 Baker games as they were tied 1-1. And it was Stephen F. Austin advancing into the winner's bracket. Tulane went to the loser's bracket, and they are bowling against Valparaiso, the Crusaders. Sean Washington and Sarah Fortin, the coaches there. Sarah's the graduate assistant. And they're facing off on the right side of your screen. Remember, whoever loses here goes home. They're done, because it's a double elimination bracket. Also taking place on other pairs that are out of camera range, but I'll keep you up to date as much as I can today, everyone, our winners brackets and our matchups over in the winners bracket. So Vanderbilt University is taking on Stephen F. Austin, and that's taking place over on lanes 27 and 28. And then down on lanes 19 and 20 is where Arkansas State's taking on Sam Houston State. And remember, whoever wins this event is going to get an automatic berth into the NCAA championships. So to the teams that are ranked in the RPI very high, Vanderbilt, the number 1 team in the country. You know, Sam Houston State, I believe, is ranked 4th. Arkansas State, Stephen F. Austin knocking on the door, may or may not get in. It's important for them to get their automatic berth here. Vanderbilt's going to bowl nationals regardless, but it's still debatable on the rest of the teams. So all of our 4 seeds, the top 4 seeds, all won earlier today. There were no upsets, and they're facing off against each other. Tomorrow we'll have coverage beginning at 8:30 a.m., matches 9 and 10, where we will see teams from the winner's bracket. And just like earlier today, if there are sweeps that are 2-0, I will move cameras to cover the events that go to the roll-off sudden death best 4 out of 7 Baker head-to-head matches here at USA Bowl. Once again, we are in Dallas, bringing you the Southland Bowling League. This is the 5th year for it, 4th year that we've been streaming it. So that brings you up to speed a little bit about what's going on with the bracket and where we stand right now. Another thing that I think is important to show everyone after we see this 7-10 attempt, maybe we'll get one on camera here. Nope, bounced out of the gutter. But here's the lane pattern that they're bowling on. It's a very, very flat and demanding pattern. Very, very difficult for the ladies to navigate through. 26 milliliters of oil, very flat, very symmetric. I do have the split screen up for you because I know a lot of folks that are watching want to watch their favorite bowlers from their favorite colleges. So we're just rolling with the split screen. Everybody seemed to like that earlier today, and we're rolling with that today. If any matches end early, I'll go to the wider shot. But for now, we'll get a chance to see 4 teams at one time right here on Inside Bowling. I'm going to check the chat now, see if anyone's chatting. Eric Lonesberry and Al Leindecker says, go La Tech, roast the Penguins. I can tell you that the air quality in the center is a little bit warmer than it was earlier today. It was the Penguins, let's just say the Penguins earlier probably had an advantage, believe it or not, because of the climate in the building. We are in Texas. It's about 65 degrees outside, but it was about 40 in here this morning. The air conditioning was working really good. Josh Modello and his family, proprietors of the center. I want to thank them for having us again. I also would like to thank the Southland Bowling League for having Inside Bowling here to cover the event, and all the colleges that think that it's important to do this. I know that each college has to buck up a few dollars to make sure that we're here to bring you the coverage. So it's greatly appreciated. And we'll keep coming as long as you guys would like to have us here. As I mentioned earlier, I don't know all the collegiate bowlers' names. I do have lists of the teams here, and I'll go over those as we move along a little bit. So if you have any suggestions or you want to point out a player when they bowl and you want me to talk about them, just put something in the chat for me, and I'll try to get with the coaches as we wind down closer to the championship match tomorrow and Sunday, and be able to drop some knowledge on who some of these athletes are. From my vantage point, I'm kind of looking at the screen kind of like you are, but I do know this. The future is bright. I say that every time I broadcast collegiate bowling tournaments. The future is bright, you know, and we just saw the last 3 years here when I've been here. Jordan Richard, you know, bowling for Arkansas State. She's PWBA Rookie of the Year and won a title this year. So, great talent. This is the feeding ground for the PWBA Tour. So just happy to be part of it. Happy to be bringing you the coverage here this afternoon on this fine Friday here on Inside Bowling. Coverage will resume tomorrow at 8:30 a.m., then again at 1:30 p.m. Then we take a break. We come back Sunday morning at 8 a.m. with the match to determine who will bowl the undefeated team. And once we figure that out, we will then have a match between the undefeated team and the team that makes it out of the loser's bracket. And the team out of the loser's bracket would have to defeat the #1 team twice. It is a true double elimination bracket tournament change for this year. I've got a sheet of paper up here in the booth for this squad where I'm going to keep track of all the scores myself and be able to call them out for you. Do the best job I can on that for you. Clinton in the chat says he caught the back of round one. It was a tight match between Stephen F. Austin and Tulane, and it was indeed. Went 6 games in the tiebreaker. It's an early lead for Tulane over Valpo. About 30 pins or so. And in our other match, it's just about even Steven between Youngstown and La Tech. La Tech hung with Sam Houston for about 3/4 of the game, the last round, and then cooled off down towards the end of the game. So we'll see what happens here. Once again, if you are new here and you want to know the format is they bowl a complete team game, and then they'll bowl 5 Baker games total pinfall. And if one team wins one of those and one team wins the other, then they go to a best-of-7 head-to-head Baker matchup. Otherwise, if it's 2-0, they're done for the day and can head to dinner and get some sleep and come back tomorrow and make their way and advance through the bracket. Southland Bowling League consists of the Vanderbilt Commodores, the Sam Houston State Bearcats, the Arkansas State Red Wolves, Stephen F. Austin Lady Jacks, the Tulane Green Wave, the Youngstown State Penguins, the Louisiana Tech Lady Texters, and Valparaiso Crusaders. teams starting to strike in the 4th frame here on our left screen matchup. And we're starting to see some separation. Tulane with a 71-pin lead through 4 frames on lanes 31 and 32. Good shot over on lane 24. Got my attention. Well executed. News from around the other 2 pairings. Sam Houston State has about a 40-pin lead over Arkansas State in the 5th frame. And Vanderbilt and Stephen F. Austin are pretty much even. It's very, very even over there. And all the noise you're hearing is from Stephen F. Austin. Their second bowler has a triple over on 27 and 28. Spare triple. Got a pretty even match over here on 23 and 24 at the moment. And down on lanes 31 and 32, it's going to be over a 100-pin deficit right now for Valparaiso. Traditional bowling game with Baker coming up next. Hello to Robert Hamilton in the chat, saying hello from St. Petersburg, Florida. Nice to have you with us today. This Louisiana Tech, Youngstown State University here. This game's getting interesting. Very interesting. Match is about even right now. Vanderbilt right now has 40-pin lead over Stephen F. Austin. And I'll get you an update from Sam Houston State versus Arkansas State here in just a moment. Keep you up to speed on everything that's happening here. Youngstown State up, can cut it to 5. Ooh, almost a 7-10. I guess fortunate just to leave the 10, but a bad break overall. Vanderbilt currently up 14 pins over on lanes 27 and 28. Louisiana Tech has pulled ahead of Youngstown State by just a fraction. And Tulane still well in command of the match on the right side of your screen. I'm going to go down to lanes 20 or 19 and 20 at this time, and I'll get you an update on what's going on with the Sam Houston State Arkansas State match. And in that match, we have an 18-pin differential in favor of Sam Houston State at this time. right, everybody, as we continue to cruise along here in this game number 1 of the team game round number 2. It's my absolute pleasure to be joined by a guest today. He is the executive director of the Southland Bowling League. Thomas Samuel, man, how's it going?
Hey, I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good. Everything's working. And we've got some tremendous talent in front of us out there throwing the bowling ball down the lane.
Yeah, it's a very competitive league, as we've talked about before, and it's held true to form the first round, right, with the top seeds going through, but some really good matches going on right now.
Yeah, there really are. We've got, it's almost a toss-up down there between Arkansas State and Sam Houston State right now. It's anybody's ball game. Same with the left side of your screen here in our split screen in the losers bracket between Youngstown State and Louisiana Tech. They're both just trying to stay in the bracket, be able to bowl tomorrow.
Right.
You know, and then we've got Stephen F. Austin and Vanderbilt. Vanderbilt, it looks like on the scoreboard over here that they're really starting to pull away with a triple and a 4-bagger. It's off camera, of course, but it's really a closer match than you think right there, because Stephen F. Austin's filling frames. And I expect Stephen F. Austin to give Vanderbilt all they can handle, because Vanderbilt's probably is almost a shoo-in to make it to nationals, right? Because of the #1 ranked team in the country.
Right. Yeah, and so they should be one of the 4 that's going to go in. And there's a battle of the other 3 teams really between SFA, Sam, and Arkansas State. In terms of two of those 3 are probably going to go on straight to Cleveland, or at least, and then one of the other ones is going to end up in a play-in situation.
So Cleveland's where it's at this year, huh?
That's right.
Cleveland.
You headed over?
I will not be there.
You're not going there this year, huh?
No, I was actually telling the folks at home earlier when we were on the webcast that, you know, this is the only collegiate really event that I do anymore, which is sad and cool in its own right. You know, and I discussed that a little bit earlier. Just, you know, I enjoy this very much, but with all my other commitments and stuff, I can only do so many of them. And we have a great relationship working with you guys. Right. You guys called me a few years ago. This is the 4th year now. And once I commit to people and I have an established relationship, I typically keep that going. I streamed sectionals last year for the United States Bowling Congress at a location. They called me this year and asked if I could, and I said that I couldn't this year, just too many commitments. But I was actually at the World Series of Bowling for 13 days and then came straight here. Missed the World Championship show just to come be here with you guys.
Well, we appreciate it.
Yeah.
Obviously, you bring a lot of professionalism and experience in this. And that's what we really are looking forward to every year when you come in.
Yeah, I try. I've just been around bowling for a long time, and I wish I knew the players a little bit more. I always tell people I wish there was a streaming service that just streamed college bowling throughout the entire year, every weekend. You know, that way, you know, the names just with all the turnover every year with, you know, seniors going out, freshmen coming in, it's tough. But Vanderbilt looks really highly intent over here on lane 27. They've got some serious strikes going on. They're starting to pull away from Stephen F. Austin by 60 pins or so. Our match down on the end, Tulane against Valparaiso. Tulane with over 100-pin lead down there. That one's going to be tough for Valparaiso to come back in.
Tulane had a great match, the first one over here.
They did. Yeah. With Stephen F. Austin came down to the roll-off, the best of 7, and they took it, and Stephen F. Austin took it in 6.
Yeah, I was saying earlier, Vanderbilt most likely going to go straight to Cleveland, and then another team of our 4 looks like would, and then there's 2 others that would probably be in a playing situation. So depending of the 3 we talked about, so not 3 going, but 2, and then another 2 in the playing situation. And this is the first time, as you know, they've expanded the field from 8 to 12. And you've got the 8 automatic qualifiers, and you have 4 at larges. So, you know, as we have more automatic qualifiers. The at-large bids are at a premium. So
now, how much do you know about the qualifiers? Do you know which ones they are, where they are, and all that? I'm really putting you on the spot here.
yeah, I don't know all of them because they're. We just actually went over it in our office the other day, and I can bring out that list. I do know that you have the Northeast Conference, NEC, the MEAC, the SWAC, obviously the Southland Conference. That's 4. And then you got 4 more.
Okay. Okay.
Some of them are Division III conferences as well, since there's only one. You know, there's not a Division I bowling championship. D1, D2, and D3 all combining to go to the NCAA championships.
So is it pretty safe to say then, out of all the different ones that make it, basically the 4 best teams left in the RPI are pretty much in?
That's it, right? That's correct, and that's why we talk about this conference being such a tough and competitive one. Is, you know, of the at-larges, they're going to come from our conference. You have Nebraska that's going to make it. They're the only bowling team out there that doesn't even belong to a conference. They're an independent.
Really?
Of the top schools out there. So you have Nebraska, and they're, I think, you know, top 2 or 3 RPI, so they'll go in. And then you have the 3 other teams that are probably going to come out of this group right here. So
yeah, most likely they are. I was looking at the RPI just earlier. Vanderbilt leads, McKendree second.
Yep, they're in a conference, and they should win their conference, so they'll get the AQ.
Nebraska third.
Yep.
Then Sam Houston stayed here.
Yep.
Arkansas stayed here.
Yep.
Then Stephen F. Austin.
Right. So barring a team outside of that mix, whether it's a Tulane or Valparaiso or Louisiana Tech, Youngstown State, one of those teams going on to win this Southland Bowling League championship and taking one of those spots. If one of these 4 take up that spot, then the other 3 are going to get in.
Yeah, so you're saying, let's just say Vanderbilt won this thing here.
Right.
Let's just pretend, right? Vanderbilt wins. McKendree wins theirs. Nebraska automatically gets in.
Yep.
Right? So then you're saying Sam Houston State and Arkansas State would potentially get in, and Stephen F. Austin's a bubble team.
Well, yeah, so you'd go.
Because you'd have Nebraska. Oh, if McKendree and Vanderbilt won, we'd get all 3 in then.
Yeah, that's right.
Right?
Yeah. So you'd have 1, 2, those are automatic AQs. Nebraska would be your first at-large, and then you'd have the 3 other at-larges made up from Southland.
Yeah, yeah. So we need McKendree to win.
Yep. I just think they will. They'll win their conference.
Yeah, and then we could have something crazy happen, like Tulane come out of the losers bracket and win this whole thing.
Right.
Right, that could happen too.
Yeah, that could happen. And if you look at their, they're 14th in the RPI. Had a good season. And they just faced off against 6th in the RPI and took them, like you said,
right
to best of 7. So.
And, a team like Louisiana Tech could get hot here, too. You never know.
Right. They have a good team, and he's got a good recruiting class next year. I was talking with them earlier.
They sure do.
They're going to be pretty good next year as well. So he's building something there in Ruston. And second year working with the Southland Bowling League.
Okay.
Previous experience, I was in media relations and sports information for 13 years, and 5 of those years I was at Vanderbilt, and so I got to know John Williamson. His dad was the sports information director, longtime sports information director, Rod Williamson, who's also here as well, he's retired, but he still serves as the bowling SID.
Yeah, it's cool.
Yeah, so it's been, they just won the national championship last year for the 2nd time, and obviously comes from our league. SEC always likes to take claim for them, but they're not a bowling. There's not an SEC bowling, so it's the Southland Bowling League, and it's our champion. It comes from our league. So
yeah,
we're proud to say that too.
Absolutely. Youngstown State here gets a strike on the board there. cuts it to 21 pins up on the board.
You know, last year we lost Monmouth.
Yeah.
Went on to the MEAC. And we're fortunate to pick up Youngstown State, which is another program on the rise. Have a new coach, Coach Doug Bursky he was at Arkansas State last year as an assistant, and then he went on to Iowa Western, helped build that program, start up that program there. And Youngstown State had a coaching change. Our head coach went to Bethune-Cookman, I believe, and he was able to move on. So he's been there probably since the fall.
And where is Youngstown State?
It's in Ohio, Youngstown, Ohio. Where in Ohio? I think that's in the northern part of Ohio. But they're a new program too, a new bowling program, probably 2 or 3 years old.
Can you see from here, are your eyes good enough to tell me what the plus is on Sam Houston State, Arkansas State?
I cannot see.
It looks like about 20, am I seeing that right? 23 pins, or is it 33?
I think it's 587, 554. Does it look like that?
Yeah.
About 20.
33 pins.
There you go.
33 pins. Sam Houston with the lead there. It's a 171 pin lead right now for Tulane. And a really close match here on the left side of your screen, 23 and 24. Youngstown State, Louisiana Tech. So tell me, because I want to know, we're here back-to-back years. Is this the new permanent home of this?
Not necessarily. There's a lot of factors that come into choosing a place. One couple key ones is obviously with the emerging sport, budgets being that they are, travel is an issue with our schools. I think we had 5 teams that can drive, bus, whatever the case may be over here. And then you have 3 teams that are going to fly. And if you look at it, those 3 teams, no matter where we put it, unless it's at their home site, which we've moved away from home sites, are going to have to fly, those being Valparaiso, Youngstown State, and Vanderbilt. And these are easy flights to get into DFW, one of the largest airports in the country. So that's one of our factors. Another factor is to have a bowling center. As you know, being around this, you got to have some place that's big enough that's also going to make you the center attraction, where you're not, where you at Arkansas State, or there've been a couple of different places in the past where maybe they've got other events going on at the same time and maybe pushed over to the side, or maybe a birthday party right next to you, whatever the case may be. We get the center of the house when we're here. Got a guy that's very interested in the owner, Josh Modello, in accommodating us. And then, at the end of the day, cost, owner that's very easy to work with and get us some things done here, and also key importance for the student athletes to be able to enjoy this experience, and they have. That's not to say we'll keep it here every year, but these are the kind of factors we're going to look at when we look at a place to host: is student athlete experience, ease of travel for our institutions, as well as a great host.
Off camera, Maria Bolanova, strike spare, 5 in a row. She's going for 6 in a row. You may hear some cheers here in a moment if she does get to 6 in a row. Their 4th bowler, that I believe is Kristen Qua, has strike, spare, 5-bagger. So Vanderbilt bowling a huge game. Vanderbilt just keeps rolling. John just looked over at me and said they're doing pretty good.
Yep. Maria Bolanova named the Southland Bowling League Bowler of the Year yesterday. And Vanderbilt has been on a roll, literally, as of late, and have done very well.
Follows in the footsteps of Jordan Richard from last year, right? She was the bowler of the
Yeah, this was the first year we actually did the regular season bowl of the year. So, you know, Jordan Richard came through, and they come through and won the postseason tournament. She was named the bowler, the most valuable bowler there, and I think a 2-time or 3-time National Player of the Year.
Now I know you got a lot of different sports and stuff you work with, but have you followed Jordan since she's graduated from this?
Nope, not. I just talked to. Rick Barbera was mentioning that with the USA team, and I think she was here earlier a couple weeks ago when they had the USBC stuff going on.
Yep.
She could probably fill me in, Bobby, more than.
Yeah, she went on to be PWBA Rookie of the Year and won her first title.
Not shocking, right?
No, not at all. Now I have a funny question for you. This is just a personal one. You know, a team like Nebraska, you said, isn't with a conference. When you had an opening here, did Nebraska apply, or did you guys seek out Nebraska, or how does that come about?
Well, we look at what we want to keep it a Division I conference or league, I guess is what we call it. But Nebraska, should we say there's not an interest on their end on joining any conference.
Okay.
Because they feel comfortable where they're at, and it has worked for them where they're going to be always in a situation where they're going to get a at-large bid. And so unless they get out one year or they don't make it, I don't see them ever having any interest in joining the conference. But I would say this, if they're going to join any conference, this would be the one to join because, like I said, this is the best one out there.
Would this one ever expand?
I don't think so. I think we're good with the 8. And we like the teams that we got.
So 64 pin difference here on 23 and 24. Looks like Youngstown State's pretty much got this one wrapped up, especially with 3 strikes down at the bottom for the anchor bowler. So it looks like Youngstown State's going to go up 1-0, and Tulane's pretty much got that wrapped up as well. If you're just joining us, we go to Baker after this. 5 games, total pins. If you go 2-0, you get to go to dinner, back to the hotel. Rest up, get ready for tomorrow.
That's right. And as you know, we've had to change the format a little bit from previous years.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
But today's the same. Today's the same.
Yeah.
Today's the same.
Today is.
Yeah.
Tomorrow, for the folks at home, makes it easier. Tomorrow's the same thing as today.
Yep, that's right.
Sunday gets interesting.
Yeah, and that wasn't necessarily our call on that. There is a new rule where you can only play 2 mega matches in a day. And as you know, if you're coming out of the losers bracket, you would play 3 on a Saturday. Last year, Arkansas State did that. And we found out a little bit of clarification yesterday on why they changed the rule, because we're kind of wondering what did it matter. But there's an NCAA rule in terms of the amount of matches a student athlete can play in a day. And I believe it's 5 is what they told us. And this was 6, up to 6. And if you were to play 3 mega matches, it would be up to 9. So that's why they said we couldn't do that. And so instead of that 5:30 p.m. match, we're going to do that on Sunday at 8 a.m. And then the winner of that will advance to the championship round. And we're also doing an additional double elimination in that championship round. Mike, were you here in the summer when they had?
Yeah, I was here for Junior Gold. I did not make it to this center. Spent a lot of time at the ITRC and 3 other centers where the demos were and stuff. Did not make it here, but yeah, I was in Dallas for that for 11 days.
Are you going to, was it Detroit next year? Is that what it is?
Yeah, I'm only going for 5 this year, though.
Okay.
I traveled almost 240 days last year, and I talked to all my clients and everybody I work with and said about 140 is going to be it this year for me. 140. Maria Bolanova's up. She's got 6 in a row. Oh, I bet she left a 10 pin. Or no, did it fall?
Nope, it's up.
Oh, okay. I didn't even see it, but I heard it, and I could tell it was 10 pin. So what happens, man. You just start knowing, you can hear it. We'll get some scores for everybody, let everybody know how it all shook out here. These 2 matches that we have will be done before the winner's bracket matches. They'll move right into Baker. Louisiana Tech comes back against Youngstown State here. Plus 53. So you said Matt's been recruiting, has a nice program he's put together. And he's got some good recruits coming in next year as well to complement this team, and they're going to grab the first game here. I thought Youngstown State had it. So 983 for Louisiana Tech.
That might be the highest score so far.
Yeah, they bowled a great game. 201, 188, 204, 165, 215. And I sure would like the machine to total for me. What's that say up there? I can't read it.
931.
Yeah, 931. There you go. We'll go with that. 931. Louisiana Tech up 1-0. And it looks like, you know, Valparaiso here, they had one bad game in the 3 position. It was a 115. Their anchor bowler can still bowl 234. So other than that one bad game in there, you know, they bowled pretty good. But Tulane, let's get this score down. Valparaiso 823. Oh wow. Open in the 10th for 202 for the anchor bowler, but 997
Yep, here we go.
for Tulane. Now at 1,004. So Tulane with a big game. You know, both of these teams in the losers bracket bowl 983 to win, and we're gonna have a game over 1,000 to win.
Right.
Yeah, in the losers bracket.
Great start for Tulane. Sometimes in bowling you may have a team that loses a tough one like they did to SFA and then go, wow, and they could just go out 0-2 and be done.
Yep, 1,007 for Tulane, 983 for Louisiana Tech, Valparaiso 823, Youngstown State 931. So we're getting ready to move into the Baker portion now.
Looks like Sam's plus 21.
Yeah, plus 21 going into the 10th frame, Sam Houston State. And it looks like Vanderbilt's up 123 right now. Through one bowler completed in the 10th frame. Just waiting for some graphics to move into play here. And then we'll get you switched over to Baker play. Need Rick to put the graphics up. As soon as he puts those up, I'm good to go. Yeah, I enjoy coming here, Thomas. I really do. I enjoy coming down and being part of this. It's something different once a year. It's just cool, you know. You guys take care of me. Put me up at the hotel. Don't make me work 50-hour days. You guys are nice. You're kind to me. You make me get up early, though. We need to talk about that.
It is a little early.
Let's change this to more like 10 a.m., okay? Make that change next year.
Well, look at that, actually.
You could tell everybody that it's television's request.
Right. There we go.
Hey, that's when the TV guys need it. Or the TV guy. Tell them there's more of me. Tell them there's like 10 of me. All right, I'm ready for some graphics here. I don't know about you. Well, you know what I'm going to do for the folks at home, just because I'm going to show them. We're gonna take it over to our Baker play right now. And as soon as the graphics roll in, I'll adjust the scoreboards. As I move some cameras, I know they're going to be off a little bit. Stephen F. Austin, 203 for the leadoff bowler, 200 for the second bowler. Vanderbilt, 175, 200. Their third bowler can still bowl 214. Stephen F. Austin's third bowler can bowl 176. Vanderbilt's setup bowler, the fourth bowler, can bowl 254. Their anchor bowler can bowl 259. And then the fourth bowler for Stephen F. Austin can bowl 216. The anchor bowler can bowl 191. Just to give you an update from that match. It happens to be right in front of us. Easy for us to call. Oh, and it looks like we do have some graphics now. Look at that. So we'll make a quick adjustment for everybody at home. There we go, that looks better.
Yeah.
As soon as 31 and 32 switches over, we'll fix that one for everybody at home. I'll tell you what, that's a cool touch. Just coming back here every year for these scoreboards is worth it in itself. And having Rick Barbera here every year is nice, isn't it?
Yeah, that is for a newbie that came in here, to have him on board is a lifesaver.
He's awesome.
Yeah, he knows it. He's seen it all. The coaches trust him. If they ever have any issues, you know, the couple times they may question him, but he's a guy that can get answers.
Oh, yeah.
And that's very beneficial. He's a busy man, too. Talking about traveling, he told me he already hit certain Diamond Club requirements already in the
He does travel a ton.
Yeah. These graphics here on the board were created by Chris Mykowski in our office.
Oh, he made these?
Yeah, he made these. He did this for our basketball tournament in Katy, or in Houston this last week, and he just updated them for the schools and the SBL, and really looks sharp. I know it adds.
Well, thanks, Chris.
Yep.
They look beautiful, bud. I didn't know he multitasked like that. I knew he did a little play-by-play and some management. I didn't know he had the graphic skills.
Yes, sir.
Those look great. I like Chris a lot.
Chris is with Abilene Christian women's basketball team. They made the NCAA, both their men and the women made the NCAA tournament from the Southland Conference. So one group of videographers, I guess they only have one. He went with the men, and the women are in Waco, so he's over there this weekend.
Okay.
But yeah, he's our director of radio and TV and all things in that realm.
He's the one that discovered me to come help out with this, so which is greatly appreciated. You know, I travel with this equipment, and I fly with this box right here as a carry-on, and I get checked through security every single time they question me about this thing. They think I'm doing something. You know, it goes through security, and it's this big box of wires.
Right.
Which is kind of funny in itself, but.
Do they have, you check it, or do you just take it on board?
No, I can't check it. There's too many moving parts that could get it, you know, I have to carry it with me, treat it like a baby or a dog, you know?
Right.
But what always amazes me is the fact, like, if you'd asked me 15 years ago, Mike, or told me, Mike, in 15 years you're going to be in Dallas streaming a bowling tournament through a laptop and a box, and you're going to carry a Pelican case with you on the road, and you're going to be able to build picture-in-picture graphics with split screens and scoreboards up there and everything else.
HD.
Yeah, I told you you're crazy. I can't believe this is even available.
Yeah, that's technology for
you.
you.
Yeah, it's unreal. $1,066 for Vanderbilt.
Some high scores going on.
Yeah, there sure are. You guys must not have put out the same oil pattern. Kidding, of course. We're talking it over with the executive director for the Southland Conference, Thomas Samuels, joining me in the booth for a little bit here. Appreciate you spending the time with me.
It's a pleasure.
We can get to 962 for Stephen F. Austin. And for Stephen F. Austin, the final tally here is going to be 950. Nope. How about 948? So Vanderbilt up 1-0 over Stephen F. Austin, 1066 to 948. It was Tulane 1007 over Valparaiso 823. La Tech 983 over Youngstown 931. And as soon as the last bowler is getting ready to bowl down there, I'll get those scores. I'll jump up and grab those. But we're underneath the Baker games now in round number 2. And if Tulane and La Tech were to win this portion, they're done. They advance. And Youngstown State and Valparaiso would go home. However, if Valparaiso or Youngstown State wins this portion here, the Baker, we go to the best 4 out of 7.
What do you think of the format? Are you a fan of that?
It's grueling.
Is it?
It's grueling in a good way, though. I mean, you get the best of both worlds. I don't know if I would do 7 games on that last one. I think 5 might be enough. Because you start with 5 games,
right.
Then you do 5 games, and then we just go to 7 all of a sudden, you know. So that would possibly be my only change.
I think they may do that because the NCAA does that, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, that would be my one change. I think over the course of 15 total games, you can determine a winner. I don't think you need 17. But I do think having just Baker only is a travesty. I think having that team game is important.
Yes.
I like having that team game in there. Not all formats have it. Baker is Baker, but I think it's become a little too dominant.
Why was that shift made?
I think it was just something that I think it allows you to put more players in and out of the lineup.
Okay.
Allows more people to get involved. And I think it's more exciting because in a team game, in the 5th frame, 6th frame, 7th frame, you could have a 200-pin lead or something.
Right.
And in this particular case, you know, you get a game out of the way, you do it all over again, you know, and it keeps you more thirsty and you don't lose interest, you know.
Right.
I mean, 1/10 of the game can be determined on a Brooklyn strike or some sort of lucky break. And in a full team game where you've got everybody bowling, one person does that once, it's 1% of the game instead of 10% of the game. So breaks and good shot making are exemplified. Or exaggerated, I should say. I'm going to take a quick field trip.
Mike went to go find out the final of the Sam Houston State, Arkansas State matchup. Which it looks like Sam Houston State won. And they'll go to the Baker.
Came down to the 10th frame, Arkansas State, Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State, 886. Very low scoring compared to these other games. 881 for Arkansas State.
Wow.
So Sam Houston State takes it. So they're up 1-0. And we're already cruising along well into Baker here. Tulane and Valparaiso. Possible 189 and 182. And then Youngstown State and Louisiana Tech, 169 for Youngstown State. Possibility, 171 for Louisiana Tech. Remember, this is not against each other or head-to-head. It's total pinfall. Big difference. Keeping track of all the scores this round. I got my quad grid sheet of paper. This is it right here, buddy. 166 for Youngstown State.
166.
Possible 159 for Louisiana Tech. Tulane had 157. Valparaiso staring at this 5-10 here. So 140 for Valparaiso. Tulane has a 17-pin advantage to start Baker after one game. .159 for Louisiana Tech. So it is a 7-pin lead for Youngstown State. And the two winners bracket matches are just underway in game number one, about a full game behind the losers bracket matches. So what do you think? What do you think, Thomas? Who do you think is going to win these things? You think we'll start with Arkansas State and Sam Houston? They were in this 886 to 881. Who do you like in Baker?
That's like picking between two children, right?
I know.
All these. The best team will win. How about that?
I'm going to go Arkansas State. I think that they're sour about losing by 5, and I think they're going to come back and tie it up 1-1. That's what I think.
Go to the decider, huh?
Yep, I do. Vanderbilt, Stephen F. Austin. I just don't see Vanderbilt. I mean, they're the #1 team in the country. I think they sweep them.
Okay.
It's just my opinion. You got to make predictions sometimes. At least get the people in the chat talking, right?
Yeah.
All right, and then
Youngstown. You're more than welcome to do.
Yep, Youngstown State and Louisiana Tech. You know, I like La Tech sweeping them. You know, I like the upset there. And then Valparaiso and Tulane, I think Tulane sweeps them. So I think Arkansas State, Sam Houston goes to the 4 game or to the extra 7 games. And I think everybody else loses 2-0. Those are my predictions right now.
There we go.
It's my bracketology.
So you're saying Vanderbilt, we'll see you tomorrow at 1:30 or 1 o'clock, I guess.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. That's exactly right. Now, it would not shock me if every prediction I made is completely wrong.
That's like my basketball bracket probably right now.
Yeah, well, there are a lot of upsets already in that thing.
Yeah, there are quite a few. Not any huge. Although I didn't check, there was a 13 seed against Kansas State. I think it was UC Irvine. I don't know who won that one.
Last year, wasn't there a 15-2 or something?
Yes. Illinois, Chicago.
Yep, that's right.
Or Maryland, Baltimore County, UMBC, I believe, or something like that. How many of these coaches have you met along the way? Do you know them all?
Most of them. Yeah, I know. Well, I know Brad very well. I know Justin very well. I know Matt very well. I know Doug very well. I know John fairly well. I know Josie really well. I know the Lemkes a little bit. We've seen each other around. I know Haley Veach pretty well. I know her husband better. And then I guess that just leaves
Sean Washington.
yeah, from Valparaiso, and I don't have much of a relationship with him. I haven't spent much time across paths with him.
I was just wondering, because having been around bowling, it seems like it's a pretty close community, close knit in terms of you see almost all these folks during the season.
You
because
do.
You don't have such a huge pool of teams.
Yeah, and I was at the World Series of Bowling, and Rick was there the whole time. Rick Barbera.
Right.
So yeah, it's kind of the
That's
same
right.
guys doing everything all the time.
Have you been over to Arlington in the IRTC place?
Yes, yeah, yep. I've spent more time there than I would really like to admit. 4 or 5 junior gold shows, touring the facility, meeting with Chad Murphy and some people over there last year, and then doing some vlogs from there. Then the Hall of Fame dinner and induction for the PBA, and yeah.
So it's a home away from home for you.
It's gotten to be that way the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I had never been there before.
The SWAC has their championship going on the same time we do. And that was a place one of our coaches that showed some interest in early last year. SWAC seems to have a long-term agreement with them. Plus, I believe theirs is televised. It's part of their conference package on ESPNU.
That's right. I do remember that. When is that televised then? Do you know?
Possibly. I don't think it's on right now. I know they have the wrestling championships going on as well.
Valparaiso with a slight lead here in this game, but still trying to overcome 17-pin deficit from Tulane. Louisiana Tech 7 pins down to Youngstown State on the left side of your screen. But Louisiana Tech says, we got something for you there, Youngstown State. We'll give you a triple. Going for 4. Nope, 3-6. Arkansas State and Sam Houston State just getting underway down there. Stephen F. Austin and Vanderbilt about done with their first game. We'll get you an update on that as soon as it concludes. It is funny how these coaches get into it. You can tell they're ex-bowlers or they still bowl. You know, they're running out shots just like other people. Youngstown State find themselves in quite a bit of a hole this game. Once it gets up to be about 70, 80 pins, it gets hard to overcome that. Vanderbilt's going to bowl going to be in the 220s. Stephen F. Austin bowled 218. 218, Stephen F. Austin. Well, Vanderbilt needs a second hit in the 10th. They just got the first hit in the 10th. They can bowl 228. So technically, if they don't strike here, Stephen F. Austin will have a single-digit lead. That's a high-scoring pair. Vanderbilt opening up with 1066 in the regular team game. Well, Maria did not strike for Vanderbilt. 216 a max score, so Stephen F. Austin will probably have a 2-pin lead. 218. Assuming Maria picks this up. Youngstown State with a strike up on the board, much needed. See if they can string a few together here and keep it close with La Tech this game, as they are 3 frames ahead of them.
Is there any benefits or negatives to bowling faster than the other?
You know, I think it's just how you coach and how you set up the pace of your team. You know, if your team's striking, you just want to get up and keep striking, right, because you don't want them to have to wait to strike. And then if you do strike, it gets intimidating to the other team when they can't strike. So, you know, I would keep striking. You can get ahead, you know. If you're like, oh, no, go ahead, pick your spare. Go ahead, throw your first ball. Okay, I guess I'll go ahead and see if I can contend and, you know, extend our strike string, you know. Probably isn't the way to go. .213 for Louisiana Tech.
Yeah, they're 2 more frames for Youngstown State. That's why I was wondering if there's any benefit, like you said now.
We got a 183 to 181 possibility down here on 31 and 32 between Tulane and Valparaiso. Youngstown State pacing in the 180s. So there's going to be a lead change there after game 2. .179 for Valparaiso. .177 for Tulane. So Tulane's lead drops to 15 pins. Tulane leads by 15. Just confirming that it was 218 for Stephen F. Austin against 216 for Vanderbilt, and it was. So Stephen F. Austin 2-pin lead there after 1. I'll walk down and get that Sam Houston State, Arkansas State score here in just a moment. Thomas Samuel, do you want to continue to stick around, or do you have other duties you want to do? Or?
Yeah, I'm going to take off here in a second. I just want to say thanks for all that you do for us and taking care of us in your coverage.
Yeah, man, no problem. Stop back by whenever you want, tomorrow, whatever.
I may bring you some guests if you want.
Yeah, you can do that too. Yeah.
From some of the schools here. I think last year we had Vanderbilt on. And
yeah, you can bring in whoever you want. You can send me whoever you like. Be more than happy to have them here. You can Doesn't matter. You send me the mechanic, snack bar worker, parents. Youngstown State still bowl 179. They take a long time on this last ball. They make like these changes. You know, they bring in a substitute or change balls. You got to go find it. Not a bad shot there. 178 for Youngstown State. 178. So that's a difference of 35 pins. They had a 7-pin lead. So La Tech is plus 28.
A little bit of a shift.
Yep, I'm gonna let you get out of here, and I'm gonna go check those scores down there. Appreciate the time.
All right, thank you.
Appreciate it. That's Thomas Samuel, Executive Director, Southland Bowling League. Southland Bowling League Championship right here. Go get those scores. I'll be right back. All right, everybody, I got an update from Arkansas State and Sam Houston. It was 886 to 881 in the opening qualifying game with the full regular game, which was the lowest scoring pair in the place, but then 231 for Arkansas State to 226 Sam Houston. So very high scoring down there to begin Baker in their first game. We got the strike hat going on for Tulane. They're up 15 pins over Valpo. Not sure why the scoreboards are just for one team right now. I would assume they're working on that. All right, just let them know about that. They're fixing that right now. I should probably try to figure out a way to adjust these cameras because it is a little difficult to read. That monitor down there with the yellow isn't quite adjusted. Probably be better to adjust the actual panel itself. I wonder if there's a way for me to do that here for you to help you out. Oh, there's a color. Wow. All right. Let's see what I can do here for you guys. I've never done this before, but I'm going to give it a try for you. Josh Medell just came by and asked me if I needed anything. Guy's awesome. All right, let's see if you can read this a little bit better. Changed it a little bit. Give that a shot. I think it's a little easier to read the right monitors. Louisiana Tech with a double up on the board. Valparaiso falling a little bit behind here to Tulane in game number 3. How's Perry Crowell doing here in the chat? I just saw you pop in here. Hope you're doing well, buddy. Vanderbilt's up in the 10th frame, can bowl 222. Second ball in the 10th. Maria Bolanova is up. She got 9, so Vanderbilt's going to be around 211. Best Stephen F. Austin can do is 194. Valparaiso and Tulane are going to be done first in this game. This is game number 3 for them. 15-pin advantage for Tulane coming into this game. Now they bowled 210. And Valparaiso can bowl 210. Pretty amazing. 208 it is for Valparaiso. Good game for them. The lead is back to 17 pins, which is where it started for Tulane, as they'll head into game number 4. Vanderbilt bowled 211. And Stephen F. Austin, the best they can do now is 172. Louisiana Tech rolling here with a strike in the 9th. Stephen F. Austin with the 710 in the 10th frame. It's going to be in the 150s. They have 150 now. If they get one pin, it'll be 151. And they did. So 151 for Stephen F. Austin. They had a 2-pin lead over Vanderbilt. Now it's 58-pin advantage for Vanderbilt after 2 games. Louisiana Tech and bowl 196. Big strikes in the 8th and the 9th to try to salvage a game here for Youngstown State. They can still get to 187. Big shot in the 10th here. 3 in a row for Youngstown State, hanging in there with La Tech. La Tech up 28 pins coming into this game, game number 3. They're gonna bowl 196, but look at Youngstown State coming back, trying to dig it out, trying to hang in there. All right, I have an update from the Arkansas State-Sam Houston State match. Game number 2, it was Sam Houston State 215, Arkansas State 181. So now a differential down there. Sam Houston plus 29 through 2 games of Baker, and they also won the team game. So right now they are leading. That would be a 2-0 sweep if they were to finish it out. Vanderbilt with a 58-pin lead would be a 2-0 sweep if they were to finish it out. Tulane with a 17-pin lead. That would be a 2-0 sweep if they were to finish it out. And La Tech now with a 51-pin lead. That would be a 2-0 sweep as well. And we'd actually get out of here early today, everybody. But that is where it sits right now through 3 games in the losers bracket matches and through 2 games in the winners bracket matches. They're about a full game behind. Southland Bowling League championship here. Southland Conference winners bracket matchups: Vanderbilt, Stephen F. Austin, and Arkansas State and Sam Houston State. Losers bracket, losers do go home. Valparaiso and Tulane, Youngstown State and La Tech. La Tech and Tulane cruising right now. Valparaiso and Youngstown State potentially out the door and done for this year's Southland Bowling League Championship. But still 2 games to play in their matches. We will see how it plays out right here from Dallas at USA Bowl. I'm Mike Flanagan from Inside Bowling. Certainly do appreciate you joining me today for today's broadcast. I'll say hello to Donnie Acklin, who's watching from Memphis. Hello to you, sir. Yep. Sounds good. Perfect. Youngstown State continues to struggle. They're facing elimination. Tulane can bowl 183. Valparaiso having a really disastrous game here, can only bowl 134. Tulane really going to extend their lead here in game number 4 of 5. Tulane won the individual team game by 184 pins. So it's really looking like Valparaiso is going to go home. Youngstown State not looking good either. Stephen F. Austin right now, 130 in the 8th. Vanderbilt 162 in the 8th, both on opens. Tulane bowls 173 in game number 4. And they took those scores off pretty quick. I'm gonna have to get that Valpo score. Stephen F. Austin struck out for 180, everybody. And Vanderbilt can bowl 202 down in the Arkansas State, Sam Houston State matchup. It was 225 for Sam Houston State, 222 for Arkansas State. It's now a 32-pin deficit. Sam Houston has the lead by 32 pins in that match, looking to sweep with 2 to play. It was 173 for Tulane, 120 for Valparaiso. It's now a 70-pin lead for Tulane, looking to close it out in game number 5 on the right side of your screen. 173 for Louisiana Tech. And you see Youngstown State rallying again, trying to make up some pins, can still bowl 203. And I'll have a final here in game number 3 from Vanderbilt. We have 1 ball left. Maria Bolanova is up in the 10th frame. They can bowl 202, which would extend their lead by 22 more, which would put them up 80 over Stephen F. Austin. She just let go of the ball, and she got a strike. So that's 202 for Vanderbilt, 202 plus 80. They're up 80 with 2 to play over Stephen F. Austin. Sam Houston's up 32 with 2 to play over Arkansas State in the winner's bracket. And in the losers bracket right now, Tulane is up 70, and you see them bowling on the right side of your screen. It's the last game there, and they're looking to sweep, and Louisiana Tech is up 51 going into this game. They bowled 173, and Coach Doug Kaburski is leading his troop to a nice finish again. It seems like they start out really slow, and then they finish strong. Youngstown State hanging in there right now in this fourth game. Can bowl 203. They'd be able to pick up 30 and cut it to 21 pins if they can strike out. Either way, they're going to pick up some pins here, regardless of whether or not they strike out or not. But that's a perfect shot right there. She can bowl. She's awesome anchor bowler here, really coming through in the clutch. Get to 203. Youngstown State showing some fight. Definitely showing some fight. $199 for Youngstown State. Get you an update on that match as soon as I do the math. Looks like 26 into that is 25. Louisiana Tech has a 25-pin lead going into game number 5, looking to sweep Youngstown State. Youngstown State, it comes down to this one game. Coach Kaburski has his troops rallied around in a huddle. He knows how important this is. You want to bowl tomorrow? You have to win this game by 26 pins. 26 pins to bowl tomorrow. So Doug's rallying the troops, and Tulane and Valparaiso are looking to finish out. They'll be the first pair done. So Valparaiso and Youngstown State both facing elimination. Valpo down 70 pins. And doesn't look like mathematically they're going to be able to get there. So it looks like Tulane is going to advance and Valparaiso is going to go home after today's competition. They will be eliminated from the bracket. We'll be down to 6 teams after this round. See if we can pick up a 6, 7, 10 here. Nope, just count. Valparaiso trying to bowl 2-0 the last game. Bowl 208 game number 3 of this set. 120 game 4 really hurt them. Tulane is going to be in the 180s. And they will advance. They will sweep them. Thanks for coming, Valparaiso. Valparaiso did not bowl bad. They've got a good squad. Looking forward to seeing what they do in future years here at this event. Youngstown State trying to rally here. 25-pin advantage for Louisiana Tech. Coming into this game, it's coming down to the wire here. Oh, we just had a strike. 180, 182 for Tulane, 191 for Valparaiso. So that was a 61-pin win for Tulane, and Tulane will advance tomorrow to go on to face the loser of Vanderbilt and Stephen F. Austin tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. Let's take you full screen to Louisiana Tech and Youngstown State as it comes down to see who is going to stay alive. Keep in mind, in this match, Louisiana Tech already won the regular team game 983 to 931. Youngstown State bowling for their life. Louisiana Tech comes in with a 25-pin lead. So if you take 136 in the 8th and add 25 pins, that is 161. So they can get to 221 with those pins. And right now, Youngstown State, if they were to spare this and strike out, 224. 224 for, so Youngstown State can still control their own destiny. And now Louisiana Tech comes in high for a 3-6-10 Louisiana Tech down the stretch here, not showing up in the back half of this game. A single pin miss in the 5th and an open in the 8th for a split, and now not a good shot in the 9th. Things are looking up for Youngstown State for their tournament life. Louisiana Tech a couple of frames ahead here too. Fortunate to get that spare. So Louisiana Tech, remember, they get 25 additional pins. Louisiana Tech can still bowl 186. Add 25 to that, that's 211. Youngstown State going at a 194 pace. But if they can throw a triple, a 3-bagger in there, all starts here, they can get there. Crosses over. Okay, just the 9-pin here. Still bowl 213, max score 213. Louisiana Tech cannot afford an open here. How about a strike from the anchor bowler? Putting more pressure on Youngstown State right now. Give you an update on Stephen F. Austin, by the way. Split in the 10th frame. It's going to be in the 160s. Vanderbilt just doubled in the 10th. Max score 211. Vanderbilt a commanding lead over Stephen F. Austin now. It was 80 pins. It's going to go up by a lot more than that. 50 or 60 more to it. Stephen F. Austin, unless a miracle happens, is going to go to the losers bracket. It's going to bowl Tulane tomorrow morning. .167 for Stephen F. Austin. Double in a 10th for Louisiana Tech. Puts them in the 180s. That's going to be enough. 184 final score for Louisiana Tech. So that gives them 209 with bonus, with the 25 pins coming in. And the best Youngstown State can do is 201. So Louisiana Tech is going to advance. What's that? Yeah, it is. It's over, Matt. 25 pin lead. Yep. 209, they can't get there, 201. So let Coach Matt Nantis know that Louisiana Tech advances 2-0. So that's 2 sweeps, Tulane and Louisiana Tech. Youngstown State, growing program, new to the Southland Bowling League. Doug Kuberski and his squad, great job. Teams have to go home though when you have a loaded conference like this. Very difficult. It was 210 for Vanderbilt. So they are now up 43 more. 123 up on Stephen F. Austin with a game to go. Okay, everybody, I got you some bonus coverage here. Just got to find it. Here it is. Not the greatest image in the world, but it's the best I could do with my wireless camera. But I'm moving you down to lanes 19 and 20, Arkansas State and Sam Houston State. Just to let you know what's transpired here in game number 4. It was 225 for Arkansas State, 191 for Sam Houston State. So Arkansas State actually up by 2, trying to settle the score and get even. I'll give you some score updates here in just a moment. Let's see if you can hear me okay. I've got the wireless microphone. Let's see if this will do for me. Let me make some adjustments here really quick on this. And yeah, I'm gonna go down by those lanes and call the action for you. Arkansas State up by 2 pins currently going into this game. So currently right now, Arkansas State has 96 in the 5th with a spare in the 6th now. And Sam Houston State with this big 4 here has 63 in the 4th with a strike up in the 5th, and now the big 4. Sam Houston State 87 in the 6th. Arkansas State 96 in the 5th with a spare up in the 6th, and now a Brooklyn strike in the 7th. 116 in the 6th, 87 in the 6th for Sam Houston State. So it's a 29-pin advantage for Arkansas State with a strike working, plus 2 pins extra. So they're up 31 right now in the match with 3 frames to play. And that's if Sam Houston State strikes here on this ball. And they do. They do strike in the 7th. So now here we are, 8th frame. A strike here would put a serious blow here on Sam Houston State, and they do it. Awesome shot right there in the 8th. Sam Houston State with a strike in the 7th and the 8th. And now a triple setting up the 10th frame. Arkansas State is going to force a best of 7. They are going to force a best of 7. Arkansas State can bowl 236. Sam Houston State, the best they can do is 185. The other match going on, Stephen F. Austin and Vanderbilt. Stephen F. Austin cannot get there. Too big of a deficit. Down 123 coming into this game. So I'm going to try to get cameras set up for the 7-game 1st to 4 down on lanes 19 and 20. Get you better camera angles down there. Okay, so we're moving into a best of 7 match. I had to take you off of here because there was a bit of, I guess, there were certain places people were sitting, and trying to get this streamed for you wasn't necessarily easy. So I'm working on it for you to try to cover it, but it hasn't been easy. So I'll get these scoreboards fixed for you. Got to figure that out. Well, we're going to have extended play here. We're going to have a best of 7 match between these two teams. I think just for now, just because it's kind of a mess, I'll leave it like this. I'll get scoreboards in a moment for you. Okay, everybody, here we go. I got it built. I figured out a way around it, and we are now underway here in the 2019 Southland Bowling League Championship. I'll take you through who advanced through the other rounds of the bracket. It was 3 clean sweeps. It was Vanderbilt over Stephen F. Austin. Stephen F. Austin goes to the losers bracket. We'll bowl Tulane, who defeated Valparaiso in 2, and Louisiana Tech defeated Youngstown State 2-0. And this match is 1-1, so now it's 7 Baker games. First team to win 4 of them head-to-head will move on. And the loser will go on to bowl Louisiana Tech tomorrow morning. So the winner's bracket match will take place tomorrow afternoon at 1:30. So this is an opportunity to sleep in tomorrow a little bit, also not having to bowl in the morning. So so here we go. That's what we have for you. You should be able to find results on southland.org, and you can click on the bowling and you'll find that on there. So the winner of this match will take on Vanderbilt tomorrow at 1:30. The loser will take on Louisiana Tech at 8:30 in the morning. Stephen F. Austin and Tulane, the other matchup that'll happen. Valparaiso and Youngstown State. Their tournament is over. They've been double eliminated. A late roller over to the 10. Here's a reminder of what the ladies are bowling on today. This is the oil pattern. 41 feet in length, 26 milliliters of oil about. Take you through this pair a little bit. It was 886 to 881 in the team game. Then Arkansas State bowled 231, 181, 222, 225. I didn't write down the last game score, but I believe it was 230 again. And Sam Houston bowled 226, 215, 225, 191. So very high scoring in Baker on this pair. And you're seeing that again right now. Arkansas State going at a Dutch 200 pace. Sam Houston State with the open, but a double to make up for it. So 7 games if needed. First team to 4. The times are central. Thank you. Times are central. If I said Eastern, which I may have, I've been on East Coast time for the last 13 days, and I've been typing social media updates. Tune into the PBA at this time Eastern, so very well could have said that. So my apologies. So this is not total pinfall. It's head-to-head match play. First one to win 4. It's the magic number 4. Solid 9. So we've got a possible 223 for Sam Houston State, 218 for Arkansas State. Big shot here in the 9th. 3-6-10. Really good shot. by Leah Glazer. She's a sophomore from Henderson, Nevada. So a 203 max and a 198 max score. Sam Houston State controls their own destiny in game number 1. They can take a 1-0 lead. Donnie Ackland says the InsideBowling.com store, he purchased some shirts. Says nice price, great fit, plus with the discounts on the spin wheel. So check it out on Inside Bowling. Appreciate that. All right, big spare for Sam Houston State. Max score now 190, max score 187 for Arkansas State. So 176 for Arkansas State, 188 for Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State takes a 1-0 lead right now going into game number 2. 9 spare open for Sam Houston State. Arkansas State open 5 count. Interesting. So back-to-back opens for Arkansas State. Not quite seeing the scores that we were seeing in the last Baker set. An answer for Arkansas State in the third. Big shot here for Leah Glazer. Double. Yep, she gets it on a high hit. Doesn't matter how you get it. You'll take them however you can. If you're just joining, Arkansas State and Sam Houston State faced off in the winner's bracket, and it was Arkansas State being defeated in the traditional team game by Sam Houston State, and then Sam Houston State won the Baker in the last game, total pins. Now we are in game number 2 of a best of 7 head-to-head Baker matches. Sam Houston State took the first game, and now Arkansas State throws a 4-bagger in the middle of the game here after back-to-back opens and have taken the lead. Arkansas State with 5 in a row. Sam Houston State now with a strike. Let's try to run some math here. Possible 236 left for Sam Houston State. Possible 258 for Arkansas State. Sam Houston State not quite out of this game yet, but gonna need a lot of strikes. Coach Brad Hagan down there coaching up his squad. What you're seeing right now is just good bowling. You're seeing baby split conversions. You're seeing teams double when they want to try to get back into it, apply some pressure. It's just good bowling. Nope, then a 4-6-10. It's going to end this game for Sam Houston State. It's going to be tied up 1-1. So now we go to a best of 5, essentially, where the first 2 games really don't matter. Well, I spoke too soon. Let's see, with 2 here, still bowl 202, Sam Houston State can. Gets the 2. .201 is the score. No, it is over. Arkansas State's going to win this one. Just needs to count here. Be 204 with count. Only gets 1. And I think that's all they needed, though. 202, yep. So Arkansas State bowls 202. The best Sam Houston State can do is 201. So we will not have 4 games. We will have at least 5 here. Game number 3 underway. Arkansas State won game number 2. Game number 1 went to Sam Houston State. Got to win 4. Open in the 3rd for Arkansas State. Sam Houston State with 3 marks up on the board. Arkansas State wouldn't surprise me if they get a double make up for the open. There's 1. There we go. I added some text on the screen for you guys. There's, I've never done that before. And my ones don't even look the same. So it's 1-1 though. I don't like this at all. Oh, it's probably because it's a different font. It's probably the issue. Okay, we'll try that for you. It's 1-1 in this match. Oh, almost a 7-9. Sam Houston. Sam Houston now has a 23-pin lead. All right, covers the spare. Still a possible 235 for Sam Houston State. .222 for Arkansas State. That was a really good shot. One, 2, 10. Strike here for Arkansas State would be big here. Put them much closer to Sam Houston State in this game. So with the open frame, a possible 211 for Sam Houston State, going at a 191 pace. Really big shot in the ninth right there. Best Arkansas State can do is 201. Sam Houston State 211 max score. Wow, excellent shot for Sam Houston State. Big shot there. Arkansas State with a good shot as well, but going to fall short here. Doubles on the 10th. .210 for Sam Houston. Possible 190 here for Arkansas State. Yep, 190. Another great game, but not enough to beat Sam Houston State. So it now is 2-1 here. Arkansas State has a deficit. Sam Houston State up 2-1 right now. All right, here we go. Game number 4. Sam Houston State up 2-1. Six, 7. Wouldn't surprise me if this one goes 7 games. It just wouldn't. Once again, the winner of this match will go on to take on Vanderbilt in the winner's bracket. The loser will come back tomorrow morning at 8:30 a.m. and take on Louisiana Tech in the loser's bracket. Excellent shot. I've been super impressed with that young lady. Arkansas State with a double now. Remember, they strung 5 in a row on this lane the last time they were over here. En route to a 201 after a couple opens. Really good shot. Arkansas State last year lost Jordan and Haley Richard, and they still got a very good team, even with losing those two. It just goes to show the good recruiting work that Coach Kostick's doing down at Arkansas State. Had Hijinks Bowling Center down there. Just hosted a PBA national event. Has hosted this event before. And home to the Arkansas State Red Wolves. It's a good bowling community. Pin lead for Arkansas State. Best of 7. You see it up on the scoreboard, 2-1 currently. Sam Houston State. Sam Houston State comes in light for the 1-2-4. Now here's Arkansas State looking for a double. It's Montana Meyer from St. Louis area. She bowls a lot of the same stuff I used to bowl when I was her age. Youth tournaments. So a spare now for Sam Houston State. Still about a 15-pin match. Sam Houston State can get right back in it if they can string a couple of strikes. Or if Arkansas State makes mistakes like that one. Strike for Sam Houston. Oh, a solid 8-pin. That shot was perfect. Awesome shot. Can't do anything about that. Possible 211 max score for Sam Houston State. Arkansas State can bowl 204. This just goes to show how big that 8-pin was. That would have been a double. Now another light hit on the left lane. Now only a max score of 197 for Sam Houston State. Arkansas State can step up in the 10th frame, throw a double, and shut out Sam Houston State no matter what they do. Up quickly here in the 10th frame. Arkansas State, here we go. Oh boy, 3, 6, 7. Sam Houston State, this is a big spare for them. Huge spare right there. Going at a 177 pace. Arkansas State has to spare this. It's an unusual leave for a right-hander. 3, 6, 7. Normally you see a 4 with it and a 10 with it. Ninth frame, setup frame, Sam Houston State, here we go. Going to take a 3-1 lead. Oh, and we're going to balk. Didn't like something. Going to take some extra time. Oh, that's tugged bad. May get 0. Okay, just got 1. 170 for Arkansas State. Perfect shot for Sam Houston State down the stretch. Clutch shot right there. Needs good count here. That's the best kind of count you can get right there. Sam Houston State is definitely going to go up 3-1 now. I've already made the change up above. When Sam Houston State flips over to the other side, they'll have 3 wins. Arkansas State has 1. Remember, the winner will advance to take on Vanderbilt in the winner's bracket. So will Sam Houston State close it out here? That is the question. Or will Arkansas State fight back, close it to 3-2, and have life? Double 9 spare, good start for Arkansas State. Arkansas State bringing it here early and often. I see in the chat, Todd. All right, 3 spares to start for Sam Houston State. They're hanging in there. See if Arkansas State can continue the strike brigade. Looks like they're waiting for Sam Houston State to get caught up. What a great shot from the deep inside angle to strike up on the board. 12-pin match, everybody. Strike in the 5th. Can Sam Houston State answer here in the 6th? Or in the 5th, my apologies. Yes, they can. They want to close this out. Ready to go to dinner. Remember, all the other teams are already finished. They've already left. Don't forget, whoever wins this is going to have an opportunity to sleep in a little bit tomorrow also, as they are not going to bowl until 1:30 against Vanderbilt. Down and through the shot. And another strike for Arkansas State. Possible 279 max score. It would be 267 for Sam Houston State if they were to strike out. I like to talk in max score terms because it's better than trying to say how many leads in the match. It's truly, if you do all your best, that's what you end up with. Shot comes in light, leaves a 2-7. Actually a 2-7-8. It's a sleeper pin behind there. Montana Meyer with a strike. So Arkansas State's going to win this game. Double 9-spare 4-bagger. That's tough to beat. They'd have to hit disaster here to not win this game. It's an important spare just in case. Gets 1. That's very unusual. Sam Houston State can bowl 230. Arkansas State 279. I anticipate this shot right here will be right in the pocket. Well, when it rains, it pours sometimes. Sam Houston State can't pick a spare. Arkansas State's run comes to an end here. Leaving the 4-pin. But we're going to go to a game 6. Sam Houston State did get lined up here at the end of this game, though, and that's important to know in case it goes to 7. So respectable game, 198. Just ran into the buzzsaw of Arkansas State here this game. 198 for Sam Houston State. They've won 2 games in this match with less than that. Okay, 3-2. Best of 7 match. Sam Houston State. Can they close it out here, or is Arkansas State going to tie it up and force a game 7? Here we go. This left lane's been the better of the two. Had the higher games bowled on it. We'll see if Sam Houston State can bowl a big enough game here to shut out Arkansas State. Arkansas State's going to be around the pocket. I don't see either team bowling less than 200 this game. Hey, Todd, thanks for the comments in the chat. You listened to my Sweep the Rack podcast I was on. Yeah, I made some predictions on there that didn't come true, but it was fun nonetheless talking to those guys. Sam Houston State here has a double now, spare double. When that happens, Arkansas State start feeling some of the pressure. See how they step up, what they do. See if they can respond. 6, 7, 10 for Arkansas State on the tougher of the two lanes. Speaking of Tulane, we'll see them tomorrow in our losers bracket, bowling against Stephen F. Austin at 8:30 right here on Inside Bowling tomorrow morning, 8:30 Central. Pretty good shot right around the pocket. There's Leah with a strike. You can always count on Leah. Put one in the pocket right when you need it most. Arkansas State needs a double bad. Sam Houston State's kind of got that big game feeling right now. And an answer, huge shot. What a great shot out there on the lanes. It's currently right now 13-pin game. High scoring. And here comes Sam Houston State. Now they got a double up on the board. Arkansas State needs to match just to stay within the 13 pins that they currently are. Light for a 2, 4, 5. Coming down to the wire. This is exciting. Another good shot by Sam Houston State. So Arkansas State here with a double. And cut the lead to single digits. And I guarantee if we do see a double here, we will hear some cheering more than normal. I think we have a foul. The foul light went off. Rick Barbera is over there to find out if it was indeed a foul. Looks like it was. He verified that. I don't even know how the foul happened. I don't know if that's a common thing for her or not. Denisha Waller is her name, from Markham, Illinois. She's a senior. Denisha Waller. Throws it really good. Very simplistic game, repeat shots. That's going to just about all but do it here for Arkansas State. Oh, wow. Okay. 180 in the ninth now. 9-pin match. Wow. I didn't see that coming. That's if the 2-8 is converted. All right, big spare, 2-8 conversion. Ooh, almost a split. So here we go, 200 if she fills 20 with a spare strike. Arkansas State can go up and strike out in the 10th frame and win by a pin. 1 pin. Gets the first one. That's a heck of a shot. That was a heck of a shot right there. Needs a spare. Spare is converted. Can fill it up for 200. It was a really good shot by Leah Glazer out there, but she is going to come up short. Her and her team, Sam Houston State, is going to advance into the winner's bracket. They will bowl Vanderbilt tomorrow. And that's going to close it out for today's broadcast. I want to thank everybody for watching today here on Inside Bowling. We'll be back tomorrow morning with losers bracket coverage at 8:30 in the morning, and then we'll continue our coverage in the afternoon at 1:30, and that's what we'll have for you tomorrow. We'll be back on Sunday with the finals. I'd like to thank everybody that's watched today. I want to thank everybody here at USA Bowl here in Dallas, Texas. I want to thank the Southland Bowling League for having me here to live stream it, and to all the teams that participated today. Thank you for the entertainment. Until tomorrow, I'm Mike Flanagan. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you later.